Hello dears, welcome to Beauty of a Heart. I'm Lily, as known as Lily. Today I'll be sharing with you dears another DIY dupe palette. Today's palette will be the ABH Primrose palette. I am cutting down on buying eyeshadow palettes, hence I am duping the color story of the new release eyeshadow palette that I am interested in. From the color story, I can decide better if I will make the best use of this palette, or how many looks I can create with these colors, or if I am inspired to use the palette more often. Color story is my most important factor in buying eyeshadow palettes. And hopefully these guidelines can help you dears to decide better and to really look at your current collection before rushing out to buy the new palette. So in these videos, I'll be sharing with you dears what the dupe colors selected, the Dupe Colours Swatches, and using these dupe colors to create this eye makeup look over here, my final thoughts, and also 3 palettes comparison hand swatch between the ABH Primrose as well as this Sigma Cor-De-Rosa and this Colourpop Sweet Talk. If you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. If you happen to like this video, please consider to subscribe. And for all of you dears who are watching my videos right now, thank you so much for watching. It's my blessing to have you dears here. And I would love to hear from you by the end of the video. Are you getting this ABH Primrose eyeshadow palette? Please comment in the comment section below. The best comment will be featured in my upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and now let's get started. Yes, I'm so sorry if you heard the drilling noise because I think my neighbors, don't know which neighbors, is moving in and there are some renovation work going on. When I heard the news that ABH is coming out with a new rectangle palette, I was excited because I think it was quite a while for the ABH to come out with their rectangle usual eyeshadow palette. And the completionist side of me wanted to collect them all, which I've been collecting some of their eyeshadow palettes over here, the Riviera, the Alicia Edward, Novena, the Kali Bible, the Modern Renaissance, Prism, Sultry, Subculture, Soft Glam, which is my very first ABH palette, and Embrazy is the last palette I've collected. I think it was released either end of 2019 or early 2020. I like ABH formula, is blended very beautifully and easily. Although the powder may be a bit loose and soft, I like the color payoff. And I also realized something, probably due to the way how I store them, none of my ABH palettes or colors has turned moldy yet. Touch wood. And when I saw the product photo and hand swatch photo of this new Primrose palette, I like the packaging. I like the soft, light nude pink color packaging, and it looks very feminine and very girlish. I heard that the fabric used for that packaging is not the same as their usual packaging, which is the velvet material. But I guess because of the light color, this palette may also get dirty very easily. This new ABH Primrose palette is an 18 pans eyeshadow palette. The color story is rose inspired, and this is retailing at 55 USD or 89 Sing dollar. It is currently available now at Sephora Singapore if you dears are staying in Singapore. There are 3 finishes in this palette, which is the matte with sparkle, and metallics. And this is a cruelty-free palette. ABH is a cruelty-free brand. Hello dears, I'm trying out this new format. Hopefully you dears can see the dupe colors better. Let me know in the comment section whether you like this new format or you prefer the usual format. Thank you so much. Let's start with the first color, which is Rose Water. This is a metallic bright opal with a multi-dimensional reflex. I don't know why when I first saw this Primrose palette, I was immediately reminded of this Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette. Initially, I have a lot of colors from here. After some fine tuning, I changed some of the colors, and the missing color over here is actually, as you dears probably know, it gets moldy, so I decluttered this. Anyways, for the first dupe colors, I'll be using this Belle of the Ball, which is a shimmer matte. This color over here. Comparing this dupe color with the original hand swatch photo, these 2 colors actually looks very similar. I can see that the original color, which is rose water, this will seems to be a beautiful topper or a standalone color. Personally, I will use this color in my inner eyelid or as a topper. This is the second color, Peony, which is a sparkly petal pink with gold reflex. I found my dupe over here from Tiny Marvels, which is a Sydney Grace collaboration with Mel Thompson, and this is the color Meadow Hawk. This is a metallic warm dark pink with a gold reflex. I'm referring to the hand swatch photo now, and I find that both seem similar, but the dupe color over here seems to be brighter and more pink than the original color. And I would say if I were to get the Primrose palette, this pink will be my most favorite color in that palette, and I will use this color as the main color on my eyelid. Coming up next will be this Honey, which is a matte sandy beige. And my dupe color will come from Colourpop Sandstone color, which is Bead Band, this color over here. Bead Band is a matte with sparkle formula. It is a pale beigey yellow with gold flakes. As usual, for Colourpop matte with sparkle formula, when we apply this color on the eyes, the sparkle will disappear. So this is as good as a matte color. I find that this dupe color fits in the color description of the original color, which is Honey, which is matte sandy beige, and the dupe color seems to be similar in the palette, but in the hand swatch photo it doesn't seem to be the same. This is Rouge, which is a matte rose beige brown. I'm getting this dupe color from this palette again, which is the Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette with the color Summer Song. And this is a matte burnt orange. Comparing this dupe color with the original color, which is Rouge, this dupe seems a little brighter than the Rouge. This is Sparkling Amber, which is a metallic rose gold with multi-dimensional reflex. Actually, I have two dupe options for this color, which is firstly this ABH Jackie Aina palette in the color Zam. This is a metallic sparkly rose gold color. This is a very beautiful color, and I think this will be my second most favorite color if I were to get the ABH Primrose palette. So this is Zam. The second dupe color, I got this from the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes color with this golden light, which seems quite similar to the Zam color, which is over here. But for this video's sake, I'll be choosing Zam from ABH Jackie Aina palette. Firstly, I wish to keep as much as possible within the ABH brand. And secondly, I find that the color description is closer to the original color description. And if I were to compare this dupe color with the original color, which is the sparkly amber color, they both seem similar in the hand swatch photo, and this will be a very beautiful color on the eyelid. This is Fire Opal. This is a metallic bright copper color with opal reflex. And again, I'm getting the dupe from this Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette with this color High Society, which is also a metallic vibrant copper color. Just by the hand swatch photo, this original color and the dupe color seems very similar to one another. Primrose. This is a matte dusty rose color with a multi-dimensional reflex. Again, from this Jackie Aina palette, I'm reaching out for this color, Pinker. This is also a matte with sparkle formula, and this is a matte mid-tone cool plum pressed pigment. The original color Primrose is also a pressed pigment formula. There are a lot of colors in the Primrose palette which are not safe for the immediate eye area use. I will indicate that near the end of the video. So this is the color, and comparing this to the hand swatch photo, both the dupe and the original are the matte with sparkle formula as mentioned just now. They both seem similar, but the dupe seems more plum because this is a plum color, and I will use this color as the outer corner eye color. Deep Berry. This is a matte deep berry color. I got the dupe from this Melt Cosmetics She's in Parties palette with the color Main Streak. And this is a matte deep moody plum color, which you can use this color to create a dramatic look. And this is a great color to be used at the outer corner color as well as an eyeliner color. And when I'm comparing this dupe color with the hand swatch photo, both the original color and the dupe color seems very similar, and both will be great to use at the outer corner. This is the last two colors from the eyeshadow segment, starting with Mango, which is a matte coral peach color. Again, from Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette, I have this Apricot. I like the names. The original color is Mango and this dupe color is Apricot. Mango and Apricot. Both color names has fruit in them. This Apricot, which is the dupe color, is a matte muted honey color. I find that for the original color, which is Mango, and this dupe color Apricot, they both look very similar. I will use this color on the crease or as a transition color. This is the last color, Clarite, which is a matte rich plum color. And I got the dupe from this Natasha Denona Sunrise palette in the color Clove. This is a matte dark earthy brown. Sometimes this color doesn't really swatch well, but on the eyelid it goes on smoothly. Just basing on the hand swatch photo, I find that these two colors, the original and the dupe, seem similar. The original color seems to have a more berry underbase than the dupe color. So this is the dupe color. And the next two colors are the blusher color. But for duping purpose, I'll be using eyeshadow color to dupe the blusher color, because I don't really like an eyeshadow palette mixed with face product. This is the first blusher color, which is Grapefruit. It's a matte coral pink color. And from this palette, Too Faced Born This Way palette, the Natural Nude, I'm choosing this Petal color to dupe the blusher color. See, this is a very lovely color. I usually like to use this kind of color on the crease, or sometimes when I want to have a very light eye makeup look, I'll use this as the outer corner color. And this is a matte warm light coral pink color. And I can see that this will be a very beautiful blusher color, but somehow I feel that this color will be too light for theirs with darker skin tone. So this is the dupe for the blusher color, and I find that for both the original and the dupe colors, this dupe color is a spot on. And the last color, which is the second blusher color, this is Saddle, which is a matte terracotta color. Actually, for this color, I have two options again. Firstly, I will start off with this Natasha Denona Sunrise palette with the color Jasper, which is this color over here. This is a matte deep rusty red color. Comparing this dupe color to the original color, they both look similar in the eyeshadow palette, but if I were to compare the hand swatch photo, the dupe color seems to be redder than the original color, the first option. For the second dupe, I got it from this Sandstone in the color Canyon Loop. Now, I find that this color actually is a closer match than the Natasha Sunrise palette. Now, this is a matte with sparkle formula, and this is supposed to be a blusher color. If I'm applying this color as a blusher color, I really don't like to have sparkle in it. But as an eyeshadow color, I find that I can accept the sparkle, but I really cannot accept sparkle on my cheeks. So that's why, even though the color base for this dupe color is much similar than the original color, I'm still keeping the first option to match up with the original color. And these are my final thoughts. Let's touch about the pro first. I like the color story, which is the basic colors, and these are the rose inspired color stories. And because of the color stories, I think I will use it more frequently. And with this kind of color stories, we can create the daily look with it, office or work look with it, or a soft glam evening look or the feminine and cute look with this palette. These palettes can also be used for the coming fall, and if this is your makeup style, please consider. There are a good mix of the color depth in this palette which can be used at the different parts of our eyelids. And just basing on the hand swatch and palette photo, the color Rose Water, I can use this kind of colors as my highlight color on the eyes, which is the inner corner and also under the eyebrow bone. And I can also use the color Honey and sometimes Rouge or Primrose depending on the kind of look I'm going for, Mango, and also sometimes Clarite as the crease or the transition color. The remaining 3 metallic colors, which is Peony, Sparkling Amber, Fire Opal, I can use this as the main color on my eyelid. And if I ever were to use Deep Berry, I will use this at the outer corner. And sometimes I will also reach out for Rouge or Primrose or Clarite as my outer corner color too. For the 2 blusher colors, I can use it as a blusher or eyeshadow. And talking about these 2 blusher colors, here comes the cons. As you just can see from this palette, which is an eyeshadow and face products palette. There are a total of 12 colors over here. 10 are eyeshadow colors, and out of these 10 eyeshadow colors, 8 eyeshadow colors are not safe for the immediate eye area use. I will indicate which are the 8 colors which is not safe for the immediate eye area use with this photo. Most of these colors which are not safe for the immediate eye area use are the matte, and I assume that these are the pressed pigments formula. For myself, my eyes is not so sensitive and my eyes can accept pressed pigment formula. And out of these 2 blusher, Grapefruit is also not safe for the immediate eye area use. Hence, if you dears are looking Grapefruit to use as the eyeshadow color, please reconsider. And this color can solely be used only as a blusher color if you have sensitive eyes. So out of these 10 eyeshadow colors with 2 blusher, there are a total of 12 colors, and 9 colors out of these 12 colors are not safe for the immediate eye area use, which makes me perplexed. If we cannot use it on the eyes, then where can we use it? The face? So dears, if you have a highly sensitive eyes, even though you love the color stories over here, please stay away from this palette. And personally, I mentioned before, I like a 60% metallic shimmers etc. formulas and a 40% matte formula ratio in an eyeshadow palette. But for this Primrose palette, is the reverse of it. There are too many matte formula, and because of that, I don't think, even though I like the color stories, I won't be touching this palette as much as I wish to be. On the other hand, if you dislike a natural matte color, then you may consider this if you do not have a highly sensitive eyes. For me, if I were to buy it, I will most likely pull out my soft glam and then combine with the Primrose palette. Since this is a mixed palette, I'm actually wondering what is the purpose of designing a mixed palette. Is it for convenience? If this is for convenience, then I think it is actually not very convenient. On a personal level, I don't really like a mixed eyeshadow palette with a face products because I find that it would be better for face product to be a standalone colors because we all have different skin tone. Even though I guess that ABH has included these 2 universally fitting blusher color, but for the Grapefruit color, I find that it can be a little too light on my skin tone. So definitely this color will not suit dears with a darker skin tone. Even though these 2 blusher can also be used as eyeshadow colors if you dears do not have highly sensitive eyes, because Grapefruit is not safe for the immediate eye area use. I realized I have this habit. I have some face products which I do not really like the colors on my face. I was telling myself don't waste the product, use it on the eyes instead. But I realized I'm actually not reaching out for these face products that I wanted to use on the eyes because I have other more appropriate eye product. So even though ABH claims that these 2 blusher can be also used on the eyes if you do not have sensitive eyes, I don't even think I will touch that. So I can predict that if I were to get this Primrose palette, I will most likely neglect the 2 blusher over there, which can be really wasted. And because of the 2 blusher over there, the overall pricing for this palette has increased compared to their usual eyeshadow palette. Also, again, if this palette is designed for convenience, I find that it lacks the highlighter color. I don't really see a very blinding highlighter colors over here beside Rose Water, but Rose Water is too shimmery and sparkly as a face highlighter. If I were to really bring a mixed palette, I will actually bring the Milani Face and Eyeshadow palette, which comprises of this one highlighter, one bronzer, 3 eyeshadow colors, and 2 blusher colors over here. One is the glowy blusher, the other is a matte blusher. So I think this is more convenient than the Primrose palette. If ABH were to include a facial highlighter in that palette, the highlighter can also be used on the eyes. So I think if they design the palette to be convenient, I don't think this is really very convenient. And I would rather take out one blusher and replace it with a facial highlighter, and probably also add in another bronzer, which we can also use this as a highlighter. So I think I really don't know what's their purpose of designing a mixed palette. Please advise me if you know. But if I were to say it's convenient, I really don't find it very convenient, because it is, I wouldn't want to put it that they are not well thought of, because I really like the color stories, but I think somewhere out there something is lacking in this palette. Also, when I first saw the palette and hand swatch photo of this Primrose palette, I immediately recall this palette, the Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette. Initially, when I was selecting the Dupe colors, I selected a lot from this palette, and finally I find 2 other colors from other palettes. And as you guys probably can see, this color here is missing because I've already decluttered it because it is moldy. So when I went back to their website and see this color, which is Shakespeare, I find that it looks very similar to one of the colors in the ABH Primrose palette. And I just did a hand swatch comparison with the ABH Primrose. I do not have the ABH Primrose, so I'm taking actually the photo from Trend Mood. So I find that if you already have this Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette, please really reconsider getting this ABH Primrose palette, because I find that the vibe is the same. And talking about this Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette, when it just launched, I remember very vividly I've watched one of Jen Fell's video. She mentioned that this palette has very similar color stories with the Colourpop Sweet Talks palette. Let me just show you side by side. Don't they look very similar? Anyways, for these 2 palettes, they are lacking the plum color from the ABH Primrose palette, but the other colors from the palette seems very similar with these 2 palettes. So dears, if you already have the Colourpop Sweet Talk palette as well as the Sigma Cor-De-Rosa palette, they have very similar color stories. Please reconsider about getting the new ABH Primrose palette. And this is my conclusion. The color story is still very much on my mind because that's my kind of story. I would say currently I am not in a hurry to get the ABH Primrose palette, even though the completionist side of me wants to collect them all, and I quite like the packaging and the color stories, but I have way too many eyeshadow palettes that I haven't really used as much as I want to use. And especially since I have both the Cor-De-Rosa palette and the Sweet Talk palette, I can easily replace them with the ABH Primrose palette. I would say right now, just wait for the discount and see how first. I hope that this video can help you dears to decide better whether you want to get this ABH Primrose eyeshadow palette or to relook at your current collection. And now dears, it's your turn to share with me. Are you getting this ABH Primrose eyeshadow palette? Please comment in the comment section below, yeah? Also, if you have any other eyeshadow palettes that you'd like me to do, please also comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much. And last but not least, here's an inner beauty tip for us to be more beautiful and more wise. Silence is a source of great strength. Thank you dear so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the bell notification button below for my future videos. I love to do beauty products review and also these DIY to the palette videos. If this is your cup of tea, please join in my YouTube family. And yes, if you'd like to connect with me more, please visit me at my Facebook platform and also Instagram platform. The address will be over here. And you dears have a peaceful, blissful and joyful week ahead. See you next time. Bye! And before you go, please check out these 2 videos over here. Thank you!